Hi, it's Jess here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thanks for joining me today. So I'm here with my retiring favourites. So I'm on the Project Share blog hop, and that was what we've chose for our theme this month, retiring favourites. These are all my stamp sets that are going out of the catalogue. So these are currently in the annual catalogue and they go in. So now I've got to choose what I'm going to use today. So I thought I'd use my favourite sets for making vintage things with. So that's the die set that goes with this. That's the punch that goes with this. And then, of course, this is my favourite thing for making vintage things. So I thought I'd make a bit of vintage ephemera. I started a new project. Doesn't come out until next week. But this would complement, what I'm thinking of doing would complement it quite nicely. So, yeah, let's get started. So I've decided to stamp these elements from Positive Thoughts, which can then all be die cut out with the dies. So I thought I'd do that to start off with. I've picked out, so I've stuck to the neutral palette. So I've picked out these 4 colours and I'm going to stamp them here onto Very Vanilla. So not surprisingly, the foliage is going to be stamped in the Mossy Meadow. So got that, a good ink up. I might do it twice. One full strength and one second generation. Yep. And then I might do that with everything actually. I'm gonna have that bit of floral. I do love the neutral palette, so I'll have one of them there and one there. Yep. And I just want to I'm just gonna, you know, make some little bits of ephemera, and I might decorate some tags or something with it. Need some tags for a project I'm making. The part 1's coming out next week. There we go. Actually, I think part 1 came out already. Might have already had it. So there we go. And then grey granite for this lovely feather. And I think the colours go nicely together. Yeah, like that a lot. Actually, that second generation is not dissimilar, is it? Might do a few more. Might do a couple more butterflies as well, because you can never have enough butterflies, can you? Never, never have enough butterflies. And then we will just have to die cut them. Gonna do that about there so that it can be cut out. There we go. But before I do that, I think I might go over with my blending brush, because the dies, when they cut out, they do leave a little border. If I show you, so that goes over the butterfly, but it doesn't cut right on the line, it leaves a little border. So I would be inking around the edges, and I think actually doing it now would possibly be quicker and easier than doing it afterwards. So I might do it lightly with a bit of crumb cake actually. It also fills in the centre bit. particularly of the butterfly here. So as I say, it is much easier to be rubbing this on like this, so then the edges around it will already be inked and look a little bit old. So yeah, liking that. And I've just popped in my head, as they do, I might put a bit of very facile printing over it as well. I think that will give it a nice little look. So that'll be grand. So what I might do now is get my very facile script. Then what I might do is, I don't want to cover it entirely, but just got a little bit of script there, so when it cuts it out, it'll show through in places, but not necessarily everywhere. I think it's particularly nice on the feathers because they're like quills. I can see slightly through this paper, so when I'm holding it up I can see where the feathers are and put my finger on it so that it's getting some of the words. So as they cut out, there'll only be a bit of the words on there. Not a lot came out on those last two. I'm running out of ink on there. That's better. Quite liking how that's turned out. I actually like that just as an effect. If that was on a tag, I must remember it because I think that's quite cool. Might go a bit at the top of these as well. So I'm going to get those die cut out. So there, they're all done, and then out of the sort of the bits that were left round the outside, I cut the feather die, and I really like the feather die. So some of they've got a bit of that script on it, and then I've just inked them a little bit more to sort of pick up some of the embossing that's in the feather, and I thought they'd make nice little elements to stick on whatever it is I decide to do. I do think I'm going to do tags, because another one of my retiring favourites is the wonderful, delightful Tag Topper Punch. Can't believe this is going. Loads of us were like gasping. It's like, really? And then there's the other Tag Topper Punch as well that they're getting ready. So we've got no Tag Topper Punch. And the Detail Trio Punch that enables you to make tags as well, that's gone. I mean, we have got some replacements come in, which is exciting. So, you know, it is not all doom and gloom. So this, I love this, and I do like the embossing in this, and I think that gives a really nice, and I think it goes really nice with sort of the vintage look, having that sort of frame. So I think these make quite nice sort of journaling cards. Nice size, can be a tag as well. So I think I'm going to cut a couple of those out so that I can layer some of these things on it. I'm going to cut them out of this, and I'm going to cut out of some tea dyed, coffee dyed paper. I'm going to cut another one out so that they can get glued together and both sides have the nice detail. So I'm going to get them done. So they're done. So I just love that detail in it. And so rather than have that look on the back, we can just adhere that to the back, and that's nice. But before we do that, I want to do a little bit of inking. This is really showing up the detail that's in that die there. So I'm really liking that. And then I'm going to go round the tea stain as well. Let's get a bit more ink on it. I think I'm going to go soft suede so that it's slightly darker than this, and then it might show up a bit better. Might put a bit of script on this. I think that works nicely. And I think I might take this fancy corner and I think that would look quite nice on the edge. Right, don't quite fit, but it doesn't matter because I don't want it all on there anyway. There we go. So might just come down the top a bit on the edge, like so, and do a bit on the bottom. Got a bit of shadowing on that one, but I don't think that matters. I might do the other one a bit better. So liking that. I'm not too bothered there because if I stick some of these over it, yeah, not actually going to see it. That will cover it without any problem at all. That is the thoughts that I had. I received a card from Jill, Paper Daisy Crafting, and she kind of did an arrangement a bit like that, which was right up my street. So that is kind of where I was thinking I'd go with this. So I need to stick these two together. Oh, that hasn't got any sort of script on it. Let's put a bit of that on. Yeah, liking that. So I usually put a bit of dottage from Quiet Meadow, which I'm absolutely delighted is staying. So so I won't be crying. So I'm just going to put a bit of Tombow around the edge of this, and then I'm gonna get a glue stick because this is quite thin paper. So I'm gonna get doing a project. I've got loads and loads of book pages. Use that for gluing on, so that I can go right round the edge and not get in a gluey mess on my grid mat. So that will help it adhere in the middle, and the Tombow on that keep it in place round the edges. We've got a bit of wiggle time to get this nicely in place. Got a great big blob there. And then you can use a bone folder, a loyalty card, something to give that a good burnish down so that it sticks. And that is And I get the back side of that to look nice. If, like me there, you've managed to get a bit of glue stick on it, it will just wipe off a bit. I had something gunky on there, like an idiot, but it just adds there to the vintage overall look, so I'm not bothered about that. I think that adds quite a nice effect actually. So that's the front of it. So I'm going to do the other in exactly the same way. So they're all done, and I found the card that Jill sent me. So that's kind of a bit of my inspiration that I am using. Obviously, that was a card, and this is not. So got the leaves. Gonna put, that's really weird. I don't know if you heard that ping, but that was Jill just messaging me. It was like, did you know I was just talking about you? How weird. How weird was that? So up there. Could even put that one there. Might even actually put a bit of a butterfly up there and love that there and that. It's quite a nice little collection going on there. And then I've got some spares, so that, quite like that. I might do a bit of stamping in the background at these, might use some of that, so I might just move that little cluster that I like. Not quite sure how much ink is still left on that. Enough. There was enough ink just left on that. So that, yeah, I'm liking how that's looking. And this one as well needs a bit of this in at the background. I think it needs a little bit more ink on it just to refresh. Oh, I did that the other day. I never do this. I'll have to sort it out after. So a bit up there. And a bit down there. Yep. And then that's a little cluster for there. Yep. Liking how those look. And of course they could be toppers on cards, like Jill's card. You could just put it on top of a card like that. And I say they are lovely journaling cards as well. Very, very pretty. I like them. And I do like to add a little word, so we might do that afterwards. So they just need sticking down. So if I go, turn that over, so I work back to front. I'll put the feather down first. I don't actually quite remember now where this was going. I put it there. Like that. Right, so I'm going to do exactly the same with this one to stick this down. So that's the two of them finished, and I do like to put a word on it. So I've got out this sentiment from Elegantly Said. I love the way stories is written. I might go for forever or just love, I don't know. Going for stories now. So I've got soft suede, and I'm using a Stampin' Right marker, and I'm just gonna ink up stories. You can use something to mask, like washi tape, masking tape. I could have masked off the rest of it, and then I could have put it in the ink pad. But I like this way because it's quick, easy works a treat, and no faffing. So there we go. So that's the stories, and what I quite like is sometimes it's not, it looks a little bit like you've actually written it with like a quill or something. There's some slight running in it, and I quite like that. I think it's a good look. Right, so I'm gonna give that a good scrub so that there's no ink left on it. Need to actually wash my Stampin' Scrub, that's okay. And I think I might do forever. Just to have some words. It's nice to have little prompts. There we go. And then we can just cut those out. Now the one that's straight, I'm going to use my long scissors. And just cut it out. And I like to just slant it a bit. And obviously that's going to get inked a bit. But got a little word wherever I want it. Might put it over there. And then the stories, I'm going to fussy cut. Fussy cut around. So move the card, not the scissors. So that's that one finished, and that can go across there like so. Right, so just a little bit of inking around the edges of that, and I think we'll do that easier by just going over with the blending brush. There we have it. So they just need sticking down. So there we go. So hope you like that, and hope you can see how that could easily be put on a card front as well. So I decided, why not make a card? So I did the same thing, and I just matted it there on some early espresso and put it on a Mossy Meadow card blank. Did Thinking of You And that's a lovely card. And then on the inside, I just decorated like that. I'd actually already cut the aperture out of this for a previous card that I didn't make. So obviously the early espresso could be seen through. So I just cut a heart slightly smaller and stamped in Hugs, Love, Prayers. So I can send this to someone. So yeah, so equally good on a card or as a journaling card or a pocket front in a journal. Lots and lots of ideas there with this. So I hope you enjoyed that. Do check out the blog post. It's linked down below, and then that will take you on the blog hop of Verity, Heather and Jill, and I'm sure they'll have videos out as well. So do go and check them out, and do join Jill and I in our Come Crafting with Jill and Jez this afternoon at 2 o'clock British Summer Time on Facebook. Okay, bye for now.